You are listening to the Hello Sport podcast.
The traffic, as you were saying, post-lockdown it's a different beast.
Different beast.
I also walked into a cafe and I was shocked seeing people sitting down.
It throws you.
It throws you for the first, even today when I got a coffee to come in, it throws you for the first, I'm still not used to it.
I was in Cali Press the other day getting a chicken burrito bowl. Shout out to them.
You love your burrito bowls.
I'm a big fan.
It's also...
And there were people sitting in there and I'm like, whoa.
What are you guys doing?
And then it just sort of kicked in and I'm like, okay,
Yep.
play on. But the fucking traffic, dude, traffic's no joke. And
It's a cut.
during the lockdown times, I often remind myself, I hope you're enjoying yourself here, big fella, because
Yeah,
this
this
is as good as it's going to get. And I'm aware of it. And I acknowledge it.
Yeah.
But it doesn't take away from the fact that when it does return, it does sometimes put a little bee in
the
your bonnet.
I was...
Like the turn off, you know, the turn off to get into Alexandria,
from...
like Eastern Distributor. Then you take that left and then the right.
Bruh.
10 minutes there today, bro.
Yeah, that's a motherfucker.
10 minutes.
Because
And
it's
I
like
was
you're
like,
going straight or you can turn off there.
I'm gonna have to change my whole approach, Tom. I'm gonna have to whip off into Randwick and then go down the Anzac Parade, and then I reckon I turn right and come across because the light doesn't go fucking green for long.
Yes, or you just go. You can go straight.
Who is in charge? Can I?
You can go straight and then turn at the next lights. So past the super centre,
Oh, can I?
and then you can hang a right there.
Is that a go?
Yeah,
That's a
also,
go.
That's also a go. There's roadworks and shit. It's hard. But you can avoid that fucking turn.
I can't do the turn.
Nah, the
anymore.
turn's fucked. That turn is fucked.
I can't do that turn anymore. Who's in charge of that turn? Feel like whoever's fucking
The light. Well, the light just needs to be
It needs
mediated
to be
better.
It needs to be longer.
Or longer.
It needs to be longer. They need to give it a couple of more seconds to breathe.
Yeah.
I think that changes things
Tell you
because some dickhead's always slow to the get go at the
Well,
start.
they're on their phone.
But
Let's be honest. Everyone's on their phone at the lights. You shouldn't. Whatever. Let's just acknowledge what happens. You're at the lights. You whip out the phone, and then, unfortunately, sometimes it's you. You get angry at the person in front of you when it's them, but sometimes it's you, and you miss the fucking lights, or you fuck up. You just ruin it for like 20 people behind you because you haven't seen it.
That's the thing. If you're going off first, you got to set the tempo.
Yeah.
Because movement will, even if you're on the phone and your second movement will put you in, that'll kick into gear.
Alerts you to movement.
The human eye is drawn to movement. I don't know
Yeah.
if you knew that, punters and dribblers, but that is the case. So if you're front, you need to set the tempo. You need to
be on.
It's on you.
Yeah.
To get as many people through that light as possible.
You
And
have
that
a
means-
responsibility.
Yeah, 100%. Couldn't have said it better myself. So you need to be up and about.
Yeah.
If you're number one, if you're leading the fucking pack into battle, as it were.
Dave, can
I
you
need
turn
action.
the lights off?
Oh, yeah.
Thanks, bro.
I need action.
Yeah.
I need action.
And if you don't, then it's on you. But at least you know you've done your part to give as much of an opportunity to the rest of the line to get through. Now, at that traffic light, the problem with that traffic light as well is that it, and again, this is going to make no sense for anyone listening, but it comes back and then it snakes into another lane. So some people are going straight, some people are trying to turn right. And if going straight's red, you're fucked anyway. Do you know what I mean? It's a nightmare.
It's an absolute nightmare.
You sound a little bit dusty.
Had a couple last night.
I can always tell. I know your fucking voice, dude.
Had a couple last night with the boys. Nipped up the Buna. Fucking
I'm
good.
jealous, dude. Still no baby here. I'm just waiting.
It's a good vibe, mate.
Yeah.
Like, went to the RSL first just to see that everything was in order up there.
Yeah, you had to run your eye over it, make sure.
Had
it
to
was
run
all-
my eye over the RSL just to make sure that they hadn't fucking changed anything.
Yeah,
everything
without your permission.
without my. Well, that's right. Because the RSL is like one of the last bastions of just mediocrity,
Celebrated mediocrity.
which I love.
Yeah.
pool table.
Well, that's what we do.
Fucking big tab area, like big pokies area if you're that way inclined. Just room to move, room to stretch your legs.
It's kind of like it's a venue. It's more like just for function, not for like.
Well, I mean, I'm talking about the Hemsification of shit, where it's all a bit much now.
Bit too much cum and glitter in the
Yeah.
establishments.
That's right. And I get it, makes money, sure. But you still need 1 or 2 venues that just fucking stay true blue.
This is what we need. We just need these certain things. You need to be able to drink. You need to be able to have a pub feed. You need a huge TV. You need a tab section. You need pokies. That's and a place to smoke darts.
Yes.
If you are that way inclined.
That's right. And a bit of room to move your
around.
legs.
Exactly.
Move around.
Yeah.
And not
Stand, sit.
and not have to make bookings and shit.
Yeah.
Like you can just go to the RSL whenever the fuck you want. No booking yesterday. Just walk in, sit down, mate, get into it. Whereas the Beauty had to have a booking, but we had one. It was good. On the rums and the fucking couple of beers.
Late night?
Not really, no. Mature.
I mean, it was a Wednesday.
It was a Wednesday. So not a late night, nothing silly.
No.
But just a coupler.
It's just a coupler.
Yeah. First schnitzel of the session.
Of the summer?
Yeah. First schnitzel of the summer.
Went down well?
Oh, yeah.
Double gravy?
Big mistake yesterday.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What?
Didn't get double gravy.
Why not?
Don't know.
What do you
Out of the game for too long, bro. I don't know. It just
I get it. It's like when you've been in a relationship, you get dumped, and then you're out trying to pick up.
Ring rust, bro.
Ring
rust.
It's
and
real.
You know what? As soon as it arrived, first thing I thought to myself, what have I done?
Could you not ask? Just go, listen.
I've been
out of the game.
I know. I could have. I
give me some
didn't.
gravy?
I was like, fuck it. Like I would have had to get up and walk over, and I was just like,
Nightmare fuel.
but it's not enough. One gravy is not enough. It's not enough.
It is what it is.
I survived, like I got through it, obviously, but I was thinking, with every mouthful, it's a little dry.
This is a little dry.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what sort of sick fuck can sit down and have a schnitzel with chips without shitloads of gravy.
Without any sauce, at least. Like some sort of accoutrement.
To provide like a little moisture. Is moisture the right?
Yeah.
Probably not.
Lubrication.
Lubrication.
Schnitzel lube.
Schnitzel lube. Yeah.
We should sell our own range of gravy called
Good schnitzel lube. Lube for your schnitzel. Get it down easier.
Schnitty lube.
Fit more in your mouth with schnitty lube.
Us on the bottle, like Dick Smith.
I've always wanted to do my own gravies.
Should we do our own gravy?
I don't know if I've talked to you about that. I've always wanted to do my own gravy.
You told me that you and your brother wanted to do your own fucking Dimples crisps.
Yeah, we did. Yeah. That's still working. That's a work in progress.
Okay.
My sister actually the other day sent us this fucking weird song. She reckons, I don't remember this, but I sort of vaguely do now. She came up with like the jingle.
For Dimples Crisps. So this is a family affair. This is a family business.
Yeah. Oh, fuck yeah.
Speaking of like,
but I do want to do my own gravy.
Yeah. Well, so is there any? Have you ever made your own gravy?
No.
Because making gravy is actually like you can just get your sort of your grave ox where it's a bit of powder, you chuck a bit of fucking this that in. But I remember my mum used to like make gravy off like the juices and shit off like a roast chicken or whatever.
So
my mum can make, and maybe my dad as well. My mum can make a motherfucking gravy.
What my grandma does, I think, is use grave ox, but then uses the juices from the baking pan to pump it up.
Punch it up.
Yeah.
Maybe that's I don't think there's...
Because I think the grave ox gives you consistency, but not a heap of flavour. And then if you just get that fucking pan's juice in there, baby, now you're talking.
Now you're getting into your work.
But I haven't really looked into making my own gravy. It's something I will do. And it's something I will sell to the punter and the dribbler because you best believe it's going to be thick as fuck.
Well, you best believe that if you're a part of it, I'm taking a clip. So I think
we'll be a part of it.
You got to change the
You'll be a part of it.
Verbiage around your gravy to our gravy.
Would it be my gravy sold by us?
No, our gravy. Because if you're having a gravy, I want a gravy. You know what I mean? Like I don't feel.
You want to be a gravy baron.
A gravy baron because we're barons of a few things.
Yeah.
Or at least we're trying to be.
We want to be.
We want to be. We are only really barons of bullshit right now, but
we are bullshit barons.
Yeah.
That we are. There's a couple other baron fucking
ideas,
titles that we want
to claim. While you were talking about it before, you were like, your sister sent you a song that you thought you remembered, but you don't. But now maybe you kind of do. I the other day sent a message to like my family. I was having a chat with my mum or something, and I was like, do you remember my sister Bonnie? Shout out to Bonnie. I was like, do you remember Bonnie at one point being asked to audition for Power Rangers, but she turned it down because the show was going to be in New Zealand? She never wanted to be an actor, but like just that someone of our family friends who sort of was in that industry asked her to audition and that she turned it down. Mum's like, no. I was like, really? because I've told people this story before, like, fucking I remember it. She's like, never. And I'm like, you're obviously just forgetting, Dale. So I whack it in the family chat. I'm like, Bonnie, what was it when you fucking auditioned for Power Rangers? You got asked to and you're like, no, fuck that. Like, I don't even really want to act, let alone go to New Zealand and be in Power Rangers. She's like, what the fuck are you talking about? And I'm like, what do you mean? What am I talking about? She's like, that is never, ever happened. I'm like, I've literally told people this fucking story. Like, she's like, that's nothing, like never, ever. And so I was sitting there, I'm like, how do I know what's real and what isn't in my life, like in my past? I was sure that was legitimate.
Where the fuck did that even come from?
That's why I was like, how do I fucking know anything is real? Because it's like, that's so random that I can't remember anything from my past. Like, how can I trust my memories?
Well, you can't, clearly. You clearly can't. My brother told me some stat that Dior's going to look up for us around, there's a percentage of your memories aren't real at all. Like a scary number.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why it makes you, and that's why I said to Mike.
Like I'm pretty confident I've got some memories that sort of pop into my head that I'm pretty sure are dreams that I've just like filed away now as memories.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised. Well, clearly I have as well, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's a lot more.
Yeah.
But that's like a scary thing to think about where it's like, what is true?
How many people have you told that story?
More than I care to fucking remember. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Or did you tell people? Maybe you didn't.
I mean, you know, if you want to get really fucking etched, have we existed before this very moment? Are all my memories just bullshit?
Implanted. Yeah. Now you're getting rabbit hole-y.
Yeah. Now I'm getting YouTube rabbit hole.
Maybe as well, you dreamt that fucking Power Rangers thing and it wasn't a memory at all for you until that very night before, and you wake up.
And you go, oh yeah, that was the thing. That's an interesting one. You know when you sometimes have a dream and then you think you've had it before?
Yeah. Yes.
But it's not like a reoccurring dream where it's like, fuck, I have a nightmare every night. It's like, I had this dream last night and I'm like, dude, I actually feel like I may have had that exact same dream like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And you go like, but did I? Or did I? Is that just...
Or again, is that bullshit? Can you shed some light, Dior?
Yeah, there's a few studies, they're wavering around the 60 to 70% of like what people can recall as real, but it's hard because...
Hold on. 60 to 70% of what we can recall is or isn't real?
Is. That's what a few studies, but I mean, it's hard because these are like, memory retention ones rather than like, because no one can do a study and be like, what happened when you were 4 years old? Is that correct? Is that not correct?
Yeah.
They assume that, and especially, I mean, obviously once you get older, it says your memories of like being really young just start to get more fabricated. And it just, it just kind of comes like you're filling in the dots and you're filling in the gaps in between what you do confidently remember.
Yeah.
And then to get from A to B.
Yeah. My theory on that is around like, I have a fucking razor sharp memory of my childhood.
Do you?
Yeah, which wigs out my mum a lot. She's like, how the fuck do you remember shit like that?
Like how old?
Like, I got pretty good memory from like 3, 4 up to like...
What other things do you remember?
Random shit,
Right,
anything.
okay.
Like, it's hard for me to give examples.
No, that's right. I only ask, I don't know, and obviously...
Like, I had one the other day, and I was like, wasn't the other day, but for the benefit of the fucking story, it was.
Yeah.
I was just like walking along and I just had this fucking sort of like this thing popped in my head and I was like, what the fuck? And it was like just this vague recollection of how our mum, when we're in the last aisle of Coles, when we were shopping, just to shut us up, she'd call it the quiet row and you're not allowed to speak in there. No one does. And I was like, oi, was there a quiet row in Coles? And she's like, how the fuck do you remember that? I'm like, I don't know. It just came to me.
That's also a genius call from mum.
Yeah. That's a fucking blinder.
That's a great call from up the quiet aisle. Just like, give me a second here.
She's like, no one speaks in here.
No one speaks. Shut the fuck up, please. Steph saw her mum with 4 kids at Woolworths today and she goes, I felt anxious for her. I was like, I can't imagine.
4 kids.
4 kids
Fuck.
at Woolworths.
Jesus Christ.
That is crazy. So you can remember the quiet row. See, I've got relatively decent memories of my childhood, but then, again, I'm like, what is real? What isn't real? What are you filling in? What aren't you filling in? It's crazy how like vivid and you were you were able to imagine when you were young, and then that reality just goes, well, it just gets worse and worse. Like I remember I used to play in the hedge at home, and it was like, it felt like it was the biggest hedge of all time, but I was just a small person, obviously. And like I had this, like, I would just sort of swing through it like a fucking monkey and think I was, whatever. I remember playing in there like it was so much more of a mystical, magical world. It was just a hedge, obviously. My ability to do anything like that now or suspect, like, is completely gone.
Mate, I remember we cut down the tree in the backyard and like there was a pile of fucking wood and like branches and shit on the ground, and we climbed through it, and I was like, that was the coolest thing I've ever done in my life. Cool life, huh? But like I remember, I still think about that. I'm like, that was sick. And I guarantee you it wasn't sick. I would probably come out scratched after death.
Fucking, that's Brown Snake City.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A log pile. A log pile.
Freshly cut.
Okay, so you're only in there for a few days. You know what I mean? Before the snakes.
But then it was removed.
Oh, okay, right.
You know what I mean?
You thought you could have used it for firewood. I don't.
Yeah, I'm with you. But what I was going to say before is like how your memory surely gets shitter. Like my memory of my 20s and stuff's pretty fucking.
It's actually really bad, but I don't know if that's because of like a haze of booze and.
Well, maybe, but like old people seemed like. Old people that I've met, particularly men, seem to just fucking spin yarns from back in the day. They can sit there like in a dinner and just fucking belt out 50, 60 stories of when when they were young. And I'm like, this has got to be bullshit because there's no way you can remember this level of detail. Like the level of detail is staggering.
Unless they've just perfected 5 to 10 stories over the course of a lifetime. So even, it's like a stand-up comic perfects their routine.
Yes.
This guy's just perfected a couple of yarns over 80 years. And he's just, you're right. The detail is bullshit, but he's added in the detail because he's told the story so many times he knows what works. And it's here we go. I've got them eating out of my hand.
Yeah, that's right.
Although the reality is a lot of them are boring as fuck.
Well, I don't think you're eating out of their hand.
I wouldn't say that.
I think you're tolerating it.
They think you're eating out of their hand, but it's like, all right, sure. That's
that's something that seems to be sad about getting older. Is it like they want to get back to the glory days?
Of course they do, bro. I want to, and I'm 32, and you're like, think about early 20s, and you're like, fucking hell. If you're 80, you're like, oh fuck, man, I've done it now, haven't I? Like it's gone. I would love nothing more than to be back pounding schooners with my mates at a pub or whatever the fuck it is. And so you're just telling me stories of the glory days.
Yeah.
That no one believes or they care about.
That's the point.
Yeah.
Like you're like, there's something in this. There's a thread.
There's a skerrick of truth, and that skerrick is almost non-existent. I have a question, and look, I don't know if this is, we talk wool pools all the time. I want to know if the Brita water filter's a wool pool or not. If not, it's the greatest invention I think I've ever seen.
A water filter?
Have you seen those Brita water filter jugs? Where you just like, can we get the TV on and get a Brita water filter onto the fucking screen? It's literally just like a water jug.
Yep.
And you take the lid off, and there's like a sort of, it's like that, the whole jug's like that big. And then you pour the water into the thing like that deep when you take the lid off.
Yeah.
And then it filters down.
Yep.
So we do that for Evie.
Yep.
And I'm just trying to work out.
Why does the water need to be filtered?
I think for kids, I don't know. I don't know what the fuck, mate. But like.
Have you ever looked into it?
No, I haven't. That's why I'm just trying to work out if it's a wool pool. Because, I'm just trying to work out like to what level is this thing filtering? Could I put piss in there and like would it?
I don't understand what it's filtering out.
Well, that's a Dave question.
Yeah.
Fluoride, fucking, do we have fluoride?
So, according to their website...
Fluoride's good, buddy. They put it in. So your teeth don't fucking fall out.
This is their faucet filter. So this is coming from the source. But it said it reduces lead, chlorine, asbestos, benzene, particulates, and other contaminants.
And they're a threat, are they? Should we all be filtering?
They'd like you to think so.
I'll ask you this. if it was so important to filter, why hasn't everyone got a fucking Brita in the fridge?
That's what I'm trying to work out, right? Because
surely at some point the water flowing through the fucking pipes is Brited by an industrial Brita.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. And
is there any need to double Brita?
Well, maybe it's just about pipes. If the inside of pipes, surely not that clean.
Why not?
I don't know. I don't drink filtered water. I just drink straight from the tap, right? I'll fucking often just put my mouth down on the tap, suck water out.
Well, that's what everyone does.
Yes.
Unless you fucking get the water out of the tap and then put it in the fridge. Now it's refrigerated. It's still the same water.
Still the same water. But I am not really. I don't care for Brita water filters. But Evie has only Brita water filtered water.
Okay, I understand that. Sometimes she's got to go to the tap though. Got to go to the good stuff.
I'm with you. At some point, she needs to just go put that away. I mean, tank water, as we know, good for the soul.
Great for the soul.
Can you guys taste the difference between different tap waters? If you go to a different...
Yeah, dude.
100%.
100%.
That's weird. I can't.
Really? So if you go to another country, Yank tap water tastes like shit. You go to another country and drink their tap water. Firstly, I'm concerned about getting because your body gets used to certain standards of whatever's in the water. So you can actually get... if you drink tap water in Bali, you'll shit your pants most likely. Balinese people don't shit their pants drinking the tap water. Their bodies are used to it.
Yes.
That's my understanding.
Yes.
You put me in, you give me tap waters, different tap waters. I won't be able to tell you where they're from, but I'll be able to tell you which one's the good stuff.
Tap water's changed from Sydney water's not Dubbo water, not tank water.
Yeah.
They're all different.
They are, but not as markedly different.
They're different, dude. Tank water to tap water.
Tank water,
so
yes.
Different.
Tank water different. Tank water, you can taste the tank.
You can taste tank.
You can taste tank.
This has got tank in it.
Yeah. This has got some fine metals in it that I can taste.
Yeah. I love loving it.
Oh, absolutely. It's good
It tastes clearer.
Yeah. Well, it tastes metallic-y as well. Well, no, that's not fair.
I don't think
tank
so.
water. It tastes more natural.
Yes.
Yes.
Tastes more natural.
Yeah.
I don't think it tastes metallic-y. It's natural.
But you can taste the tank in it.
Well, but I think you're just replacing the natural with tank. So the natural tastes like tank.
Maybe that's true.
Do you know what I mean?
Maybe that's true. We should do we really should probably do a water tasting.
We should. I also think there'd be something in selling tank water. Big water.
This is just tank.
Yeah, you want tank water?
Untouched tank water.
Do you want tranquil tank?
Tranquil tank. Trank tank.
Do you sell them in little corrugated iron bottles as well?
Now, I don't know what that's going to do for our overheads from just a general production standpoint. Is tank cheaper than plastic? Surely not.
I think it would be in the shape of a tank.
Plastic tank.
Yeah.
But you want to try and also sell that renewable vibe, don't you? Natural.
Yes.
So you can't be putting it in plastic.
No.
What if you sell it in reusable metal bottles, but then they're not coming back?
Look.
In possum hide or something.
Possum hide bottles.
Possum hide.
In a dead possum. In those old flagons or whatever they used to have in the old days and carry wine in. It's just like a dead possum skin.
Or a camelback. And you wear
Yeah. It's a possum bladder.
Sell them in flagons.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't mind
flagons of tank water.
That's dribbly.
That's as dribbly as it gets.
Probably get a few off the ground in Newtown and shit.
Yeah, you wouldn't sell them by the shitload though, would you?
I don't think you'd be moving big numbers.
No. Unfortunate.
So maybe Water Baron Park to one side.
Yeah.
Anyway, look, food for thought.
Do you remember seeing that photo I sent a while ago of the crazy rough seas and killer whales jumping out of it?
Yeah, vaguely.
So
yeah.
Killer whales are, there's something to do with killer whales where it's they're within their sort of species. There are some that are native to certain areas and then some that thrive in areas where you didn't even realize there were fucking killer whales.
Yeah. So what, they just cruise around the Pacific fucking knocking off things?
Yeah, but that's where they live, is in the sort of depths of the ocean, as opposed to some that are native to an area in New Zealand or fucking
That's their thing. Middle of nowhere.
Yeah. So it's like there's like, look at this up, like different types of killer whales, because I think there are some like pygmy killer whales and shit, like where they're smaller and they're like better adapted. They all have different languages. So like they're different. There are languages different to native like pods and shit.
Can they understand each other's languages?
I don't know.
Or is it like...
I can't speak French.
Yes. But I can pick up on a couple of words. Well, I know they're French. Are they like, well, the pygmies are here?
I know how to say g'day. I can say bonjour.
Yeah. That's fucking wild.
Have you got something we can read? It's hard to...
I'm trying to get the...
I'm pretty sure that killer whales have like the highest social... like the most developed social sort of skills and like construct.
Dude, they're fucking very intelligent. Mammal. They're very intelligent.
Like super intelligent.
I think there's like examples of killer whales. I think it was killer whales. There was like an indigenous community down the south coast that used to use killer whales to hunt. Because I think there was either one in New Zealand or there was one with an indigenous community, and then like white settlers came in and fucking killed like a whale, and then they never came back, something like that.
There's some in New South Wales.
Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of.
So they never came back. No.
The Killers of Eden, or Twofold Bay Killers, were a group of killer whales known for their cooperation with human hunters of cetacean species. They were seen near the port of Eden in southeastern Australia between 1840 and 1930. A pod of killer whales, which included amongst its members a distinctive male called Old Tom, would assist whalers in hunting baleen whales. The killer whales would find target whales, shepherd them into Twofold Bay or the neighbouring regions, and then often swim many kilometres away from the location of the hunt to alert the whalers at their cottage to the presence, and often help to kill the whales.
What the fuck?
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
And then they killed one of them.
And then there was something about it, I feel, where like someone fucking end of the whaling, or here, go down. Yeah, so around the mid-1920s, retired pastoralist John Logan and his young daughter Mo were aboard White Heather, a motorised yacht, after a whale chase. The Logan Davison's closest neighbours used to tow whales back to the whaling station to kill. Old Tom had earlier forced a small whale at the service where Davison's crew had harpooned it. Because he believed the buoyed carcass would be lost to the approaching storm, Logan attempted to bring the carcass ashore without Old Tom eating the tongue and the lips. So that's what they would do. They'd give it to the whale they'd give the whale like some fucking food basically with it. So Old Tom temporarily grabbed the tow rope in his mouth and lost some of his teeth in the struggle, recounting that Logan said, "Oh God, what have I done?" when he realised that Old Tom had lost his teeth. When Old Tom's corpse washed ashore in the 1930s, the mouth abscesses from the teeth.
So they left the area after Old Tom was obviously he was the G.
Yeah.
They all followed. Then when he dies, they fuck off.
But he's died because he had abscesses in his mouth from where the teeth got ripped out, where they didn't give.
Right. And then 3 killer whale pods were observed during 1 week in 2010, roughly the 80th anniversary of Old Tom's death.
Bro.
Surely they've come back to pay their respects?
Surely not.
That's pretty fucking crazy, dude.
That's good stuff. That's very good stuff.
What's that say there?
It happens elsewhere in other parts of the world, like humans working with whales, but it says the relationship between whalers and killer whales in Eden appears to be unique. Doesn't say why, but it does happen here and there elsewhere, but I don't think as well as this.
I want to read more about that one.
That's crazy to me that these killer whales helped humans kill whales.
Well, yeah, but look how intelligent they are. When you see like what a fucking
But how the fuck did that even come? Like, how did that come to be?
Yes.
Old Tom sounded like a fucking
genius. You know, like they find like, there's certain gorillas that can fucking read sign language and shit, or like can sign. Like,
well, is Old Tom like their Einstein? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he's ahead of the curve.
To the point where Old Tom's like, "Oi, bruh, you haven't given me the tongue and the lips yet. Like, whoa, what are you doing? Like, to know like that this is the deal, you're not holding up your end of the bargain, and I'm fucking gonna pull on the rope, and now you fucked my teeth." Just like that level of intelligence of going like...
Yeah, we had a deal.
Yeah, not like, oh, well, you fucked me here. I guess that's annoying. It's like, no, dude, this isn't how this works. Give me the lips and the tongue.
Jesus Christ. That's fucking wild, mate.
Do you guys know the story of the dolphin that had LSD?
No.
Have I mentioned that before? No. So in the 1960s, there was a NASA-funded project to basically work out how smart dolphins were and to communicate with them. So one dolphin lived, the dolphin was called Peter. One dolphin was living with one of the experiment people. They gave this dolphin LSD to kind of see what was going on in its brain and stuff. And then as part of the experiment, one of the things that they did while the dolphin was on LSD was get it to orgasm. So this woman is like essentially doing it.
What,
and
like
then,
jacking off a dolphin?
Yeah, however they do it. And then basically the dolphin ended up like falling in love with the trainer, with that owner that's training them. And then it's actually really sad. I'm sorry I brought it up. But then like when the trainer moved on and when the experiment finished, the dolphin basically like stopped breathing. Dolphins have to breathe manually, and this one just stopped breathing and essentially committed suicide.
Oh, Jesus.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
It's just like some weird fucking trans-species Romeo and Juliet story between dolphin and trainer. Dave, while we are on dolphins, can you look up that dolphins will chew on pufferfish to get high?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, where did I see that the other day?
I said that to you the other day.
Yeah.
I read it somewhere. I was like, really?
There's another one as well, just before I get to that.
Is this another fucking sad
No,
dolphin
this
love
one's
story?
okay. Well, it's still going, but there's a species
There's a movie in that.
There is.
there's a species of crane that like mates for life.
Crane is a...
Big bird.
Yeah.
I'll try to get up the photo. And basically like this dude at a zoo somewhere, there was one crane that was a bit of an outlier and didn't choose a mate. So he kind of like, he didn't jack him off, but they like got him
My
to...
God.
They got the crane...
lot of bestiality shit going on.
He didn't jack him off exactly, but like...
They got a crane to like... Well, the humans mimicked basically what would happen and then gave this crane someone else's egg. So the crane thought it was fathering like the child of the zookeeper who's its partner now. And because these birds mate for life, the zookeeper essentially can't ever move jobs.
Well, he could, but...
And they live till 66 as well.
Oh, cuz, you've locked yourself in there.
Yeah.
So this male crane thinks that he is in a relationship with this zookeeper.
Yeah.
And does the zookeeper have to like hang out there all the time?
I think so, yeah.
Do they
I
have
don't
to have
know.
like family dinners and
But
shit?
there-
Yeah, exactly. How does that work?
How's that work?
Has he got to be around like what, 8 hours a day, 10 hours
Yeah,
a day, 12
what's
hours
his
a day?
fucking-
Does he have to
like-
stop in once a week,
Does he have
once
to
a
get
month,
clearance
once
if he
a
wants to
year?
go to the pub?
Sounds like it. Sounds like he's played an absolute fucking shocker. Who would sign up to something like that? Like,
Yeah.
I respect the hell out of you for doing it. Like,
Sort of. I mean, you
Sort-
fucking...
like, I mean,
you've
and
wool-pulled a poor bird here and
but-
now thinks he's in a relationship that he's not. You're catfishing a bird.
could you say this? Would the bird have been okay if it was just
A
doing
single
it-
bird.
Just a single bird.
An incel bird.
An incel bird who does its own thing and lives its own life and doesn't have to fucking worry about you.
Yeah,
maybe
maybe
he's pissed off you're around all the time.
Maybe it was like the bird feeling the burden of responsibility is like, well, I'm a dad now. I've got to be a dad to these birds, to these kids.
But before that, I was just a young,
young
crane in the fucking
Prime of my life.
prime of my life, getting around, trying to root other cranes, not really working, but like, you know,
Whatever.
I was having a crack. I was in the
Exactly.
fight.
I was free though.
And how do you know I wasn't going to get a partner?
And now you're
Like,
like,
give me a little bit more
manipulating
time.
me into thinking that these are my kids. You know, it's like Maury Povich, like, you are not the father. This bird's going to be like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah, that's a fucking pretty hectic wool pull on a poor crane.
On a poor bird. We need to get that bird on Maury Povich.
Immediately. But I think more disturbing than that is the fact that this bloke's like
Now,
pretty
you know,
comfortable
being in a long-term
being in a
relationship.
long-term 66-year relationship with a crane.
Well, it seems like...
Like,
he's-
is
seems like he's
is that
significantly older
caring
than
or is
the
that
crane.
fucked up?
Yeah, that's fucked up. But it also seems like he's significantly older than the bird. So he's going to, you know, just looking at the
Well,
sort of
we might
lifespans.
be 30 years into this thing, mate.
We could be. Or this crane could be a single parent, you know,
A single crane,
a
yeah.
single crane parent.
Yeah.
Dave, I'm not going to be able to hear this. Can we just get an article up explaining it?
Yeah.
Because there is a difference, I think, between like being a caring zookeeper and then like being in a relationship with a bird.
A platonic one that I didn't jerk him off.
Yeah, that was Had
to start.
It was prefaced with I didn't touch its fucking willy, but like sounded like you might have, to be honest.
Oi,
reading between the lines, I reckon that's exactly what you've done.
Anytime you need to start off with any like, just so I didn't jack this bird off, but okay, dude, so you jacked it off.
Yeah, okay.
Wink, wink. Do you want to hear what he is quoted as saying in the article? He goes, "It took a while before I could train her to stand still and let me do the artificial insemination technique."
It's a girl.
It's a girl bird?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, I thought you were saying they tricked a male bird into thinking that they were his eggs.
Yeah, that's what he did say. That's what Dave said.
Yeah.
Okay, that might have been what I said. I don't know how it works with who sits on the eggs, but they gave her some eggs.
So they may not be her eggs, or they are?
No, I think they are her eggs, because if they're artificially inseminating her.
So he's the husband, this guy.
This guy is the father of the eggs and she's the mother. But so they are her eggs then?
Yeah.
Are they spliced with him?
Yeah. Are they his? Is it his sperm?
But yeah, do you want to hear about these dolphins?
Yeah, dolphins getting high off pufferfish.
So it says, a bite of a pufferfish can paralyze and kill a human, but dolphins have been using the spiky lethal creatures as a chew toy, leading humans to wonder if the sea mammals were getting a buzz off the neurotoxin found in the fish. So he says, some dude who's a zoologist says, this was a case of young dolphins purposely experimenting with something we know to be intoxicating. After chewing the puffer and gently passing it around, they began acting most peculiarly, hanging around with their noses at the surface as if fascinated by their own reflection.
Crazy.
Holy shit, dude.
That's cool. I mean, they are very intelligent though, right? Like that's what's wild is the level of intelligence of dolphins and killer whales and just certain animals that live in the ocean, like having that level of intelligence and existing in that world.
Wonder what they think of us, or like what they say about us.
Just being aware of us is interesting. Like a shark doesn't know that we exist. We're just another fucking food source, right? But like dolphins...
I think dolphins would.
No, they would, yeah, 100%. But like that's the way dolphins can like, it's fucked up when you see them at SeaWorld or whatever, but like they know who you are.
They know who's who at the zoo.
At the zoo, yeah.
Tom, what are your thoughts on Big Wayne going to Redcliff?
Love it. Big Wayne's at the cliff. I mean, it seems like a good
Dolphins.
Dolphins, Big Wayne at the cliff. It seems like, I heard someone saying, what are the Dolphins' nickname going to be? The Fins?
The Fins. What is the nickname for a dolphin?
There isn't one. You're not calling them the Dollies, are you?
That's a funny one, isn't it? It's got to be the Fins, doesn't it?
The Fins. The fish? I know they're not fish.
They're not fish.
I know they're not fish, but that's sort of like...
The joke.
Yeah. Up the fish.
Up the fish. I don't know. Cliff?
I don't mind calling them the fish.
The fish, the cliff, the fins.
I like the cliff. I like the fins. I like the fish. Fish because it's stupid.
Fish because it's absurd.
Yeah.
But that's okay, I'm with that. The fish, I'll get the fish this week.
Yeah. Where are you? Up the fish.
Up the fish. That's pretty good. I don't mind that. It's a bit of fun.
I think we call them the fish.
I think we call them.
We started as the fish, and then we'll see. Obviously it'll take on.
I think that works.
Yeah.
I think that works. Because you do need a good nickname.
You got to have a
good
good
nickname. Fucking,
hold on to.
You hold on to, get your fucking teeth into.
Some dribbler said, I don't know if we said this on About Even, but some dribbler was like, it's the only club where you can really be a one-club player starting under sevens all the way through to... all the way through to...
First grade.
Yeah. I like their jersey. I like their colour.
Colour's great. Jersey's great.
Dolphins are a good fucking...
Dolphins are great. The fish is great.
Redcliff is the place.
Morton
good.
Daly Stadium's a ripper. You got the Redcliff leagues at one end. You can fucking get on the piss and watch the game. It just works. It works very, very nicely.
Well. And what's a nice touch as well is that Glenn Rushton of 3N Glenn fame, former, maybe current Jeff Horn trainer. I don't know if Jeff's still fighting, but for those of you that don't know, Glenn Rushton, owner of the Dolphin Palace, and I believe that's going to be their new clubhouse, Eddie, which is nice.
It is. So for those that don't know, 3N Glen, Or is it 2N now? I can't keep
Yeah, I
up.
can't. He's got a lot of N's in his name.
He is obsessed with dolphins. He lives in a dolphin palace.
He has
No,
a
I'm
dolphin
not talking
necklace?
shit. He's got dolphin necklaces. He's got statues of dolphin. He's got like a dolphin water feature at the front with 3 big dolphins.
3 big dolphins.
He's fucking obsessed with dolphins. He's also very wealthy. I think he's in like hedge funds or some shit.
Got weird hair.
So he's got shitloads of money to buy shitloads of dolphins, and that's exactly what he's done.
Yeah.
Is it weird? Yeah, it is. There he is out the front of his dolphin. That's the dolphin palace.
Yeah. If you're watching this on the tube, Eddie will have it up there.
I will.
There's a photo of him and Wayne out the front of the Dolphin Palace.
Yep, there. Our firm, Russian Financial Services. So he's promotional stuff.
Look at this Dolphin Palace, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he boxes for the love of it. And he's not very good at training, if you believe what other people say. Like, remember when the Hornet was getting fucking pieced up by Zoo, and they're like, "Have you got anything else, Jeff? One more round." Jeff's like fucking dead in the corner.
Yeah, just begging him. Can
you just throw in the towel? Look, he's got dolphins in the pool.
Yeah.
Dude, Glenn loves
palace.
dolphins.
It's a full-on dolphin palace. This thing's not a joke. I wasn't joking. He fucking loves dolphins. So I think that works.
They're calling it the Redcliff Dolphin Palace.
Yes, that's right. And that's where the fucking after parties are and the kick-ons away from prying eyes.
Well,
it's
you
all
think
good
like,
stuff.
Molly Meldrum, #1 Melbourne Storm fan. Eddie and I, #1 Manly Seagulls fans. Glenn Rushton, #1 Redcliffe Dolphins fan.
He'll be there front and fucking centre.
Yeah.
And is there anything more dribbly than having Glenn Rushton as your #1 ticket holder?
No. There's nothing more rugby league than having
That's
Glenn
so
Rushton.
rugby league.
Yeah. And he's got a really tight, like, dolphin choker necklace, which is unsightly. But I get if you like dolphins, it's really cool.
Well, if you're into dolphins, dude, that fucking moves the needle.
Yeah, it
100%. Who do you reckon? Do you reckon they'll get Munster?
Bro, this is what's the funnest part about this sort of shit is now it's like, who are you bringing in? Ponga's on the list. Munster's on the list.
Put it this way, punters and dribblers. Let's all fucking be honest with ourselves. Just for a second. Is Kalen Ponga going to die a slow, painful death in Newcastle? Yes or no?
No, dude.
Of course he's fucking not. Of course he's not. There's no way up for Newcastle. I'm sorry, there isn't.
Not at the moment.
Not in the next 5 years. You're not going to win a comp in the next 5 years. No. Mitchell Pearce is on 1 more year, then he's off. Then you don't have a half. That Clifford guy goes all right. But
Clifford goes all right.
Are you going to win a comp?
Is he going to win a comp, Jake? I don't think
Probably not. And then if I'm Kalen, I'm looking around.
Imagine if you get Munster and Ponga in the same side.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Under Wayne.
Yes.
Under Wayne. Like Ponga at some point is like going to start, he's going to wake up and go, I'm not 19 anymore. I'm not that young kid who's come down from fucking the Cowboys.
I'm a 24-year-old man.
Yeah.
25-year-old man.
And the fucking weeks keep ticking by and the years keep rolling by.
Still haven't won a comp.
And
haven't won a Dally M. You're not winning a Dally M at the Knights.
Nah, can't be done. So if big old wily old Wayne gets on the blower to you, going, mate, Munster's coming up. Do you want to come up and play a bit of fucking fish footy?
Fish footy, dude.
What are you going to say?
How do you say no?
How is it you say no? I don't think you can say no. It'll be good now.
Come up, join the fish.
Come up and join the fish. Come up and join. Fisher, he'd be up on the fucking DJ.
Fisher DJ?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It'd be a full-on thing, mate. It'd be an experience. But what I'm looking forward to is when the Titans came in, like I wasn't really that across rugby league. It's sort of like I wasn't that invested in like how they built their squad.
Yeah.
Whereas this time I am.
Yes.
I'm like, how are they going to fucking
How are they
piece
going
this
to
thing
do
together?
this? Balance it, bring in some old heads, some young heads.
We need a bit of old, bit of the new.
Well, you need old fish, you need young fish.
Yeah.
You need some spawn there.
You do need some
Some caviar.
That's right.
That is fish eggs, is it not?
Yeah.
Spawn more of a turtle. I mean, frog based.
Is it?
I think so.
Like tadpoles?
Frog spawn.
Okay, sure.
Yep.
I'll go
Whereas,
with it.
I don't know what you call fish eggs other than caviar, but I don't know if caviar is just a expensive type of fish egg that you eat.
Caviar are fish eggs, but
Yes.
would they have turned into fish had they not been eaten?
Like eggs do.
Yes.
Like chicken eggs.
Like chicken eggs.
Don't all turn into eggs.
Yes.
Don't all turn into chickens.
Yes.
Does caviar, are we eating potential fish babies.
Yes. Or is it like a chicken egg situation?
Yeah, that's a Dave one. That's a Dave one for sure. Dolphins, though, just give birth to full-blown fucking dolphins.
Yeah.
Well, they're mammals.
Yeah.
Not fish.
That's it, not fish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know we've been calling them the fish, but we're saying it ironically.
Ironically, yes.
Okay.
Up the fish.
Up the fish.
But I'm happy for them to be like a second favourite team of mine when they come in.
Fucking oath.
Cool
So-
jersey, cool animal.
Caviar not fertilized when it's sold for human consumption.
Bang.
Yeah.
But also, I only know this because I was watching Planet Earth 2 the other night. Frogs
Coned out of your
spawn-
mind?
Yeah. Frogs spawn, like they also come in these little like pods that look like caviar. They
Yes.
just stick to a leaf.
Yes, they
Yeah.
do.
And then they spawn into
Tadpoles.
Yeah.
And then they grow legs, and then the tails drop off. And they grow fucking arms.
It's wild
I saw
stuff.
this mad photo of like a tadpole that just never developed into a frog, but just kept growing.
So it was
So
a
it's
huge
just a massive
tadpole.
Tadpole, yeah.
Huge. I mean, that is interesting, Dave.
There you go. Learn something new every day.
Don't you? Oh, fuck. So that is just a tadpole. I mean, they've got this thing next to everything they can find. Beer can, banana, in a hand. Is this the same one or is it just one?
I feel
One of one. Or
feel
this
like-
is like a phenomena.
I feel like it's one of one. The giant tadpole that never got its legs.
Well, it also never lost its tail.
well, you'd be pretty pissed off if you lost your tail and didn't get legs.
You probably wouldn't make it, would you?
He'd be swinging around that poor cunt, watching everyone's tails fall off, going, what the fuck is going on?
I'm getting big, but I don't have pubes or anything. This is just like some kid who never hits puberty until they're like fucking 25.
Yeah, he's getting bigger.
They're
he's
big,
just-
but like, so you remember guys in you, they were like fucking, I remember a guy who was like 6 foot and was like, couldn't have been, high pitched voice.
Really?
Yeah. I won't say his name, not that I think he'd listen, but like high pitched voice, fucking.
He was 6 foot with a high pitched voice.
And like soft, you know, like not like you get into it, you get sort of like, not like you all get jacked, but you get like sort of muscly and fucking,
Yeah.
you know, this guy was like a big, soft, doughy baby, fucking high pitched voice, no facial hair, no nothing. And it was like, dude, this sucks for you.
How old was he when it clicked into gear?
I didn't know him when it kicked into gear. So I don't remember it happening.
Oh, it didn't
even
happen
year
at
12.
school.
No, I don't think so. There are mates like that though, right? We hit puberty real late and then it's like, you see him now and you're like, holy shit. You're like now, I've got a mate of mine who he was just like a really fucking good long distance runner, but always a small skinny dude. Now he's like 6'4", fucking jacked to shit. Like in the army and fuck. You're like, oh
Yeah,
my
I think
God.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. Weapon. Before that, you were like, you're never going to get any bigger than this, and that's crazy.
What do you think people say when they see you?
Probably about right. You haven't improved. Yeah, we expected it to go down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right about
You're right about where we thought you'd be.
great head of hair.
The hair doesn't quit clearly, but everything else looks like it's quitting.
You got some quitting.
Yeah. You're quitting from the neck down.
Well, the eyebrows even.
Yeah, quitting from the eyebrows down. Or the eyes, because my eyelashes don't quit either. And then from below the eyes, you've got fucking psoriasis on the nose, the
Yeah.
cheeks, the beard's shit, and then... Bad back. Soft body.
Yeah,
No,
the
no,
back.
no.
My back's playing up again, a little bit. I was walking Tonka yesterday, the motherfucker, and he's 50 kilos now, big boy.
He's big.
And he's stopped for like a sniff, but he's aware that I'm going to pull him, or like
Yeah.
I want him to be next to me. So he's fully
Splayed out.
splayed out. He's getting pretty good at the splay as well. Gets his body like.
As in, like, you are not going to pull me.
He
sort of-
gets really low down to the ground and he's braced for it and he's fucking tucking into some scent that he's loving. And I've gone to like pull him and then like I'm sort of
turning as you do.
turning and then pulling and then I've like sort of riffed my lower back and I'm like, oh, fucking hell. So, you know, I was sort of, and then as soon as that happens, I just find myself walking like a bloody.
Yeah, dude.
You know?
I don't know what you do exercise-wise. And again, obviously,
I do nothing about it.
yeah. Currently training with Josh Ellis Flint, Bronte Blueies. Check him out on Instagram. He was talking about like all these exercises he's been getting me to do are like, because he had a bad back, and it's all to like alleviate fucking back pain. And I got to say, my back's still not great, but so much better. And it's like all to do with your ass. He's like, your ass muscles, you know, time was you were standing most of the time doing this, and it's like it sort of pulls you forward. Now it's like you're sitting down doing fuck all. Your ass just goes to sleep or disintegrates altogether. In my case, don't even have an ass, barely have an ass. My pants fall down. He's like, wake that ass up. A lot of the
you got to wake that ass up.
You got to wake the ass up, dude. So a lot of ass-based fucking exercises, and like a lot of the laying down and lift your ass up planks, hold at the top. I do a lot of that
thrusts.
shit. Yeah, laying down and thrusting up,
Yeah.
hold down. There's a song, you know that song, Bring Sally Up, Bring Sally Down.
Yeah.
That whole song,
Good song.
every time they say, funnily enough, every time they say Bring Sally Down, you go up. And you do it for the whole song, and you are fucked by the end of it. Your ass is like, oh, I'm awake.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hello,
I'm here, I'm awake.
Okay.
Anyway, ass.
So it's all ass, dude. Like,
Yeah.
mate, sitting down has fucked us
And I'm
up.
sure that he would have more to say than just ass. I'm regurgitating.
But you're not
probably-
classically trained, Tom.
I'm not classically trained, so some dickhead's like, oh, well, I'm a fucking trainer, and that's not 100% exactly. There's other things. I'm like, I'm sure there's other things. And I'm sure that Josh knows there's other things. I'm just regurgitating. So don't be like, you're a fucking...
And again, you're not classically trained.
Not classically trained.
But there you go. Like, mate, I was saying this the other day. A lot of guys that I know, majority of them have had or do have back issues ranging from mild to pretty fucking serious.
Yeah.
Is that all because our asses fell asleep and we've been sitting down for too long?
I
Is
think
that what
so.
it is?
I think so.
Why does it seem to, on the whole, affect men more than women? Because they're sitting down too.
It's a good point, Eddie. I'm not sure.
We're all
I think,
sitting.
I think women do get bad backs. I think maybe, you know, men more so because I'm just going to make something up, so I don't know why. But, you know, there are things that affect women more than men as well. It's just sort of the way it is. Maybe it's the way that we're shaped. Maybe it's something to do with women, like, you know, usually have like wider hips. They're sort of like... Dave,
Possibly.
why do men get bad backs more?
Do we get bad backs more?
Or do we? Maybe we just complain more, dude.
It says most likely due to increased mechanical stress and physical injury. But also
Well,
when it comes to things
more
like
active?
pregnancy and things like that, then women also get really bad back.
yeah,
from
dude.
that. So-
Steph's back has been
Yeah.
fucked during pregnancy.
So I think it from what it's
Which
looking
makes
like
sense,
here,
Of course.
You've got
She's
a
carrying
fucking
another
human growing off your chest.
Yeah, it's like it depends what kind of stuff you do. If a guy's really active and plays lots of sport, then
Right,
he'll get
okay,
it.
so
And
it's-
if a
well,
woman-
when
and
not
it's also like how your
specifically.
body's put together as well. Like, like a friend of mine, her and one of her sisters, actually two of them have all had to have like back surgery. So I think like some people just aren't put together well.
Yeah. Do you know this?
Do you think you're put together well?
I think I'm put together all right, yeah. I think that I don't do enough to
Help
probably
yourself.
help myself,
Yeah.
yeah. If I did stuff to help
But
myself,
you like your foundation.
I think that it's there if I wanted to, like there's something there that I can work with.
Yes.
I don't work with it.
Yes. But
Like-
it's there.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you cut it all back.
If you were to fucking trim the hedges,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And if you trim, the way to trim hedges is you got to cut them right back, let it grow, cut it right back, because that's how you thicken it from the base.
That's right. People think, well, fuck, now my hedge looks like shit, but you got to trim it back, baby.
You got to trim back till like it's almost bare sometimes.
Oh, fuck yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, 100%.
And that's the same with the body. And I'm trying to trim back now.
It's like trimming roses, mate.
Pruning.
Pruning. You cut off a fuckload more than you think you should. That's the secret sauce.
That's how you get your roses.
That's how you get the big roses.
Did you know this when it comes to pregnancy? That women's abs separate. So at a point when it's going out, Steph's abs, like they'll split and separate. And so that's why their backs get bad, because they've got no core support.
At all.
At all. So like Steph will be like, is always like, I've got to stop picking up Evie. I'm like, I know, because there's no, like you feel when your back goes, that's just her existence pregnant, because it splits. Now the baby, and then it eventually comes back together and reforms. Isn't that wild?
How long does it take to reform?
It takes a while. Like you're not meant to be. You're meant to be doing very specific exercise and things and stuff like that after pregnancy, because you can't be doing too much because you've got no fucking strength in your core.
That's fucking.
Like you can. I'm pretty sure you can like you shouldn't be doing any running at all. Like because you could prolapse. Because you're like if you were running.
Yes.
There's nothing holding anything in.
What's prolapse, mate?
That's like I think we're like fucking guts
everything comes
out your
out.
asshole.
Oh my god.
That's why and again, do your own research into that.
Or don't.
But or don't. But like you see powerlifters wearing those like fucking belts around their waist.
Yeah.
That's so their guts don't come out their ass.
Oh my god.
Again, do your own
That could be
research.
complete bullshit.
I think that's legit.
Okay. But in case it is.
Well, Dave will look that up and clarify. That looks like a bit of a
Yeah. What is that?
it's a rose.
Nice. So how is Steph feeling? Week out?
Well, it's not even it's an anytime thing. Like these things happen. Like there are these things called Braxton Hicks contractions, which are
Why Braxton Hicks?
I assume maybe he discovered them. Although I'm always like Braxton Hicks sounds like a rugby league player. He sounds like a good one as well.
Yeah. I think
Sounds like an up and coming fucking rugby league player, Braxton Hicks.
Yeah, Braxton Hicks.
Braxton Hicks is a motherfucker.
Yeah, oh fuck yeah. He's been destroying his age divisions.
Yeah, and flag and fucking through all the grades. He's been earmarked for greatness.
100%.
Yeah.
Lot of
Braxton Hicks.
lot of hype around this kid, Braxton.
And he can throw him.
Yeah, he can throw him. He don't mind a schooner either. This
Yeah,
cunt.
no, he's a wild bastard.
Yeah,
and at some point, he's going to have to, get serious about his rugby league. Because
Well, I mean, look, he's young and he can hide behind that. He can hide
behind his ability, his natural ability,
Yeah.
but
But at some point in time, you have to switch on.
Yeah.
Because there's leader in this kid,
he's got a big future if he's prepared to knuckle down.
Braxton Hicks.
Braxton Hicks. Anyway, so the Braxton Hicks contraction, named after the prodigious footballer Braxton Hicks.
Why?
Why? Well, I don't know. Well, because it's a
He played pretty good footy. That's
fucking
why.
great footy. They're just like contractions that are like preparing preparing the whole situation for labour. So like they're just like random tensing of the fucking womb and
And that's happening.
yeah, that happens a while, like a fair way out. But then like we're getting into the stage now where it's like any time it could happen. You go to bed going, maybe it's tonight sort of thing. That's
That's where you're at.
yeah. But she started getting contractions yesterday, which weren't Braxton's. As in like they were like long. We were like, ooh.
And who are
fuck.
they named after?
No one yet.
Okay.
That I know of. Maybe they do have a name, but not Braxton. Or maybe these are longer Braxtons. Maybe these are first grade Braxtons.
Yeah. Sure.
You know what I mean?
I'm
The
with
Braxton Hicks is like your up and coming footballer, and then your first grade Braxtons is
He's
where it's
a bit
getting
longer.
a bit longer, a bit more intense. But
Yeah.
we're sitting at the dinner table, and she was like, "Oh fuck, this one's still going." I was like, "Oh shit, we about to fucking get into some work here." But look, she's good. I was asking though, because like when the Braxton Hicks one came, I was like, when the longer one came, I was like, because there's a shared thing that we have here, which is like, oh fuck, is this the moment? This is exciting. But then there's the feeling that only she can have, which is like, fuck, I've got to go through some shit right now. You know what I mean? Like, I can't.
Is that?
I'm like, what's that feeling like to
Yes.
Because I was like, are you?
Is she is she scared of that?
That's exactly what I was trying to get my head around, because that to me, like the whole concept fucking terrifies me. Or like the idea of having to do it, I'd be like, fucking hell. So I was like, I was feeling excited when we thought that may have been it. And she was like, yeah, that was the same thing. But I'm like, but what about the realization you had of like, what's on the horizon? And she was like, yeah, that's a little different. That's like excited, but like, oh fuck, nerves.
So there's plenty of oh fuck attached to it.
Yeah, but you would imagine, and I think that this is the case, maybe it's not with every woman or anything, and it's not something that she's necessarily explicitly said to me, but as a mother and like, or as a woman, and knowing that like, there'd be some sort of chemical thing that kicks in, like almost like a game time, like let's fucking do this thing.
So the thought of it is different than like game time.
I think so. You'd be like, oh, freaked out, but then it's like you get in there. And there is a steeliness to the way that like she, like, in moments where you're like, yeah, you're far more you're cut out for this work. I'm not. Like, I'm not in, you know what I mean? Like, women can do it.
Yes.
Which is impressive.
Yeah, I'm with you.
And
game time element, mate.
Where it's like switch on. And I've seen her in it before, and you're going, oh, fuck, like, this is wild. I'm just sitting there like, go.
Go.
Up the fish.
Up the fish. What's your role this time? Are you going to do anything a little bit different?
I've got to do a lot more.
You got to play a role.
No, 100%.
You got to play a role.
I got to play a role this time.
You've obviously been through it.
Well, the first one was
what did
crazy.
you learn? What do you?
The first one was hard because it was so long. The first one was 40 hours.
What if you're staring down the barrel of another 40-hour?
That's okay, but this one it wasn't like everything was progressing normally. So the things that you might do to sort of help were not really like it was, all right, let's give you some pain relief here. Okay, let's monitor, you know, like it was just a different vibe. Whereas this one, we're a bit more prepared. We also had no one fucking like, the baby was facing the wrong way in the first one and no one was giving us any like help on like how to potentially try and move it around. Like, because that's why it took so long, because the baby's fucking like head's getting in the wrong position, all this bullshit anyway. Whereas now we're a bit more like, okay, if it's not in the right position, here's some things you can do to get it out of position. Here's some things that I can do outside of just when the fucking contractions came. I was just up fucking, you know, massaging the back. There are other things you can do outside of just massaging her back. I wasn't, you know, there's shit to do. I've got she's like written me up some like cards.
You've got notes?
I've got notes. Like there are some like things to go like, this is what I need. Like, because often you can labour at home for a large portion of it. You don't just have to go straight to the hospital.
Right.
So like when your contractions are like 5 minutes apart, that's when they say you should go in. So up until that point, you can just do it at home, which is much more comfortable. So there's like, I've got like the shit that I know I need to do, like dim lights, candles, fucking massage oils, fucking this and that. Oh, you're in a bit of pain. Try these different things. Da, da, da. But she's put them on like fucking palm cards, trying to just, you know, save me from failure. I think she's just doing everything she can to make sure I don't fuck it up. But I was reading them before bed last night. I like whipped them out and I'm like, yeah, it's just always good to brush up on the specifics of what you want. I want to fuck this one up.
Are you across it?
Yeah. Anyway.
Well, you'll have the palm cards, mate.
I'll have well, no, that's
you know
it. I know exactly where they are.
Worst case scenario.
Have them in the back pocket. Oh, just got to quickly duck out to the bathroom. All right, yeah, let's try this one.
Yeah, don't let her know
that I've forgotten fucking everything.
Yeah. Keep them on your person, but make sure they're hidden.
Yeah.
Definitely. Or pin them up to the back of the shitter and
oh, fuck. All right, I reckon that's us. I don't think I've got anything else. I hope by the next time we talk to you, I've got another baby, though. No idea what we're having. No idea on the name.
What, in your heart of hearts? Okay, let me ask you this.
What would you prefer?
If you have a son, any thought around naming him Braxton Higgs Birmingham?
Braxton Higgs Birmingham.
You've almost got to now, dude. It's a ripper name.
It's a fucking ripper name. It is a ripper name. I have no names.
Your son couldn't fail.
Like, if he's called Braxton Higgs Birmingham.
He'd just be such a presence.
Yeah,
dude.
he would be. He'd be a presence.
He'd be
a fucking presence.
Fucking oath he would.
Yeah, he'd bring back the shoulder charge.
Yeah. They'd have no option but to bring it back.
Yeah, well, no, have you seen Braxton Higgs Birmingham fucking put him on? We had to bring it back. What do you reckon I'm having?
I think you're having a girl.
So do I.
I've said that the whole time.
Yeah.
But what the fuck would I know?
Well, that's the thing. Everyone's
it's a
like,
50-50
It's a 50-50 fucking flip of the coin.
Now, it's not like I'm tapped in.
No,
you know?
and no one is. That's why Steph's like, I'm feeling this. I'm feeling that. I'm like, I just think it's a girl because I'm like, I see my lot in life being just surrounded by girls. Not that it's a bad thing, but I mean, I wouldn't mind a fucking bit of both. But girls are sick. Like, they're great.
Girls are great.
Whatever.
You'll be fine.
I'll be fine.
Could you two just not talk anymore?